Yes, people, welcome back to Mission Podcast, and it's another edition of Kayfabe Out, everyone's favorite WWE show on YouTube. And we've got four people here today. We've got your regulars, DK and Lenny, and the man on the Brock Lesnar schedule, Mr. Ume himself. How you doing, boys?
It's WrestleMania season. I've got to build it, innit?
Oh, good man.
Oh, yeah. He's on that Roman part-time schedule, man. Shows up whenever he wants. But it's good to have him here back. But SmackDown and Raw, we're gonna recap those, and WrestleMania is starting to take shape, and we're just gonna discuss our thoughts on it. But the biggest talking point, Drew McIntyre, we thought he escaped the cuck chair, but nope, he is right back in there. Cody Rhodes defeats him to win the WWE title, and it's looking like it's officially confirmed. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, WrestleMania 42 main event. Thoughts, lads?
I don't mind it. I think Randy Cody's a very good match. I think it makes more sense than another Drew Cody match for the millionth time. I'd rather have that on SmackDown. Drew had a little title run. I just hope we don't have stupidly long title reigns like we've had for the last however many years now. I like a couple month title reign, switch to the next guy. This way, people who deserve the belt get the belt. And, not every single person needs a stupid long title reign. I would 100% put the belt on Randy at WrestleMania, give him a couple month title reign, lose it to Cody, or lose it to anyone. You could lose it to Jacob or lose it to Drew again down the line. It's just, I'm bored of the same thing every time. And I know it's Cody as champion again, but at least it adds some unpredictability. We don't have, one person with the belt. And I know people don't like Cody with the belt. We've had it for almost 3 years now, or 2. But it's just one of them, innit? But I don't mind it.
I think people are putting the blame on the wrong person, right? They're blaming Cody Rhodes for it, and I get why you can blame Cody Rhodes because he did kind of won the Randy match. The reports have come out saying he was really pushing hard for the Randy match. It just sucks what they've done with Drew, right? Like we were all pretty certain a month or two ago Drew was gonna walk into Mania as champion. They would do maybe they would run the Cody v Drew match again. Maybe they do the 4-way or a 3-way, whatever. Right? We were saying Drew McIntyre is gonna 100% walk into WrestleMania as champion, and to lose the belt a month or two before Mania after winning it. You lost to Cody Rhodes 3 times. Then you beat Cody Rhodes. Be like, okay, Drew McIntyre is maybe gonna get a decent reign here. Hold it until WrestleMania. Maybe even retain a Mania. Maybe lose it down the line. For him to lose it 2 months before Mania is kind of like, okay, the company really never seen him going into the main event of a Mania as champion, and that's where I think the problem lies. Randy v Cody as a match, I don't think 95% of people have a problem with. Right, that's been building for 2-3 years. Well, they haven't built it on TV, but as fans, we want to see it for the last 2-3 years. Right, since Cody's return, it's been one of the biggest matches you could have with Cody Rhodes. Right, it's probably Randy Orton. I think the other one probably CM Punk, who he hasn't had a match with. Right, I mean, granted, they had a match at Night Champions. It was a different dynamic, though, right? Babyface. I can definitely see Randy Orton turning heel sometime in this feud. If they don't do it, then that's a catastrophe, and I take back everything I said. And this feud is awful. But Randy Orton has to turn heel somewhere down this feud, even if it's a Mania, before Mania, after Mania, somewhere down the line, he has to turn heel, right, for this feud to work
100%.
properly, in my opinion. That's the main problem, to be honest. If Drew McIntyre, like, what's Drew gonna do a Mania now? Jacob Fatu. If he's like, oh, you can have Jacob because we want to actually do this Randy v Cody match now. So yeah, it sucks on Drew, to be honest, and I think that's the main problem. People can blame Cody. Maybe he did push for this match. Maybe he's like, okay, there's no point running Cody with Drew again. We've seen that for 4 or 5 times, and let's be honest, them both don't really have the greatest chemistry in ring, do they? Like that WrestlePalooza match was really great. Saturday Night Main Event match, same thing. The SmackDown in Berlin was actually good because they had a stipulation and they actually got a title change. And this match, I watched it all with no commercial breaks, and it was not a good match, man. I don't know what it is, if they've got awkward chemistry or if they're relied on too many ref bumps. There's something about them two that doesn't click. I mean, it's kind of surprising because I remember they had a match back in 2024 on the road to WrestleMania where Drew actually beat Cody clean on the road to WrestleMania
Oh, yeah.
because Solo got involved and cost Cody. That was actually a really fun match. And like, okay, Cody Drew actually got some good chemistry here. I would imagine a title feud between them, but this feud since August, maybe they've dragged it on for too long, not put the belt on Drew at WrestlePalooza where he was meant to win it. It just hasn't worked at all. And now I think like Drew's probably the guy who's been the whole done by here. Jacob Fatu maybe because they were building him to face Cody Rhodes, but I wouldn't mind Jacob winning the belt down the line. Maybe at SummerSlam or something, he can win the title. It's mainly about Drew, right? Like since that Punk v Drew feud, he's been doing so good. He had a feud with Priest until Mania. That went on to Saturday Night Main Event. Then he was in a tag team with Logan Paul facing Jerry Lawler and Randy Orton. Wait,
That was
he
so
went.
stupid.
Then he went into a feud with Cody Rhodes, lost 3, 4 times just to win the belt because people were like, okay, we can't really have Cody Rhodes beat Drew McIntyre for the 5th time. Drew would basically lose all credibility. They've done that. They've had they were Randy win the chamber now, and they've decided, okay, now it's time to pull the trigger for Randy v Cody. So I think that's the main issue with fans is that Drew's been doing dirty and they've not liked the way they've gone about it. As a feud, Randy v Cody, I'm sure no one here has got a problem with it, right? We wanted to see that for ages.
100%.
So I just think Drew's been doing hard by man.
But yeah, spot on. I mean, I don't think anyone in their right mind is angry that Cody and Randy are finally having their feud out. It's more of the execution of it, the way they've gone about it. It feels more like a desperation attempt to try and sell tickets rather than it coming organic, you know what I mean? Which is kind of strange because this is probably the best feud that they have in their hands, and they're doing it out of, you know, a desperate plea to sell tickets for Mania. And obviously they've fucked over Drew massively with this as well, which is, you know, Drew McIntyre's gained so much respect from WWE fans over the last few years for the work he's put in with his character and in ring. You feel really, really bad for him, and I feel sorry for him because it's kind of obvious now he's been used, right, as like a throwaway chip in the power struggle between Cody and Roman, right? We all know the original plan was Cody Roman at Mania, but neither wanted to put the other over. So Cody's gone. I don't know if it was Cody or if it's Triple H or a combination of both. They've basically gone and been like giving Drew a hair down title reign, basically, and they've just taken it back off him now. I mean, Cody Rhodes done a podcast or interview the other day, and he was playing into the whole quarterback one, Golden
Boy.
Yeah, I've seen that.
He's basically said, I'm outrunning everyone on the treadmill right now, even the guy I consider my largest competition. I don't know if that was a shot at Roman, but bro, fans
got to be surely.
Fans are already mixed on Cody right now. Like you're seeing online, that is.
Yeah.
I mean, things like this are not gonna help his case. I don't know if you guys agree. It's coming off cross as just shut up. What are you talking about?
I think Cody might be a better politician than Roman Reigns, right? This guy got out of the Roman Reigns match because he knew he was gonna have to take a pin to Roman. They weren't gonna have Roman lose 3 times in a row at Mania, right? He lost to Cody, then Punk, Seth, and now here. He got himself after that match. He basically said, okay, Drew McIntyre, you can have a reign here. Roman can go for Punk. Roman's going to basically beat Punk. So Cody said, here, Punk, listen, you can take care of Roman. I don't want to do anything to do with this. He's gave Drew a title reign. Randy's won the chamber. And he's like, okay, I'll just win the belt back now and we'll do the Randy v Cody match. Insane politician move by Cody Rhodes. I'm going to you just have to respect it at this point.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man.
Listen, he's giving major heelish vibes, isn't he?
He is.
But yeah, I mean Cody. But I don't know about his comment about he's outrunning. I don't know about that. I think Roman Reigns is still head and shoulders above everyone. You know. But yeah, it'll certainly be interesting. I mean, they're both kind of taking shots at each other. But at the end of the day, Cody, mate, we all know the original plan for you was Drew McIntyre in a Hell in a Cell, apparently, which I called. I remember saying it like a month ago. I have a feeling that's the plan for Mania, and it actually was, according to reports, which is hilarious. I mean, Danny touched on it. Their chemistry just wasn't there throughout the whole feud. I don't know why, because they're both great workers, but I don't know. Just sometimes some two guys just don't gel well together, and it is what it is. But yeah, man, Drew McIntyre, unfortunately, one of the many victims over the years of WWE to star power. I feel bad for him, but at the end of the day, he is going off to film right straight after Mania, so that probably did factor into it as well. But yeah, man, I think the main events we have now, Cody and Randy, and then Punk and Roman. On paper, these are amazing main events, and so far, Punk and Roman have been knocking it out of the park. Like the standards are so high for that. Cody Randy still yet to get going a bit. We'll see probably from next week on this coming SmackDown. But let's head it over to Raw then.
Is this a Corpus Banner?
You know what? That would actually be cinema. I agree with you, WWE 2K Gamer. This guy knows what he's talking about. Everyone wants the final boss back. We all know he is what makes WWE great. Yeah, anything with the final boss, I'm down for, man. That was a great
Anything.
comment. But yeah, let's move on to Raw. I want to get Lenny's thoughts because Lenny's been a bit quiet so far. Let's talk about the Punk promo then with the Usos. What did you think of it? Did you like it, or were you like, this is a bit corny?
No, I loved it. I can't lie. Like I really liked it, and I especially like the fact that Punk brought up the fact that Roman pretty much hasn't had to say sorry for what he's put the Usos through. I'm so glad he brought that up. But no, I love the segment. I can't even lie. I thought it was sick.
I mean, I watched this live, and I kind of knew we were gonna get something with the Usos on Punk after last week. He brought up his, Roman's dead father, and Roman wasn't gonna be on this episode. He's there next week, so we're like, okay, surely they do something with the Usos, right? And I mean, we'll get on to the opening segment, but the Usos come out to save LA Knight or help him against the Vision, right? And then Jay just starts eating, and I'm like, Punk woke up your dead uncle last week, and the first thing you do on the next episode start eating. Okay, ignore that for a moment, yeah. Then they go backstage, and then Jackie Redmond, who's the backstage interviewer, she basically asks Jay, what do you make of Punk's comment of last night? And then all of a sudden he was serious. I'm like, 2 minutes ago you were eating, and now backstage you're serious. That was the only part of it that I didn't really like, because listen, the actual promo, we get into it now. It was amazing. I thought every man in this promo played their part to a T. Jey Uso, who was his hothead, who just couldn't deal with what Punk was saying about his uncle, right? Like his dead uncle. Jay was losing. He was apologize right now to Roman Reigns. No, actually, he didn't really want to apologize for Roman Reigns. He said apologize to us, right? Like, say sorry. And then he's this hothead who's angry, who's running around the ring. He keeps pacing himself, he can't stop. And then Jimmy Uso comes, who, in my opinion, was the MVP of this promo. Jimmy Uso's ability to quote a promo is so good. Is so good. His calming presence was completely the opposite to what Jay was doing, right? This hothead, and then Jimmy was just, he had this demeanor where he was really calm, and he was saying to Punk, listen, apologize. We don't tolerate disrespect. It was amazing. I thought the dynamic between all three men worked perfectly. The best thing the Usos have done for such a long time. This is where they excel, right? In these cinema, well, quote unquote cinema segments, where they can actually talk about proper family stuff. Yeah, I think where they excel at. We've seen Jay over the last year with the Yeet stuff hasn't really worked. Jimmy hasn't really done basically anything apart from team with Jay here and there. This was a really good promo, and I think it sets you up nicely for Roman to come back next week. We've all said it, right? Roman can't just come back and cut a promo. He has to come, and he has to, from the minute he's in the arena, go for smoke. He has to come for Punk, attack Punk, no matter what he does, just take Punk out. There's no way this is gonna be a standard promo between both of them next week. But yeah, I was really impressed by Jay's performance, Jimmy's performance, and even Punk's performance, right? Like Lenny said, he called out Roman for everything. Since 2024, where Roman turned babyface, he still hasn't apologized for the things he done to Jay, to Jimmy, to Sammy.
I think
None
babyface
of
is a
them.
very light term, by the way.
It is. I still say he's more of a babyface than a heel right now, because the crowd do love him. But yeah, he basically never apologized, and Punk brought it up. The first time someone's brought that up in over a year, and finally Punk with some common sense brought it up. He hasn't apologized. So why are Jay and Jimmy, sick up for Roman Reigns? So perfect segment. A great cliffhanger. They pushed him near the end, which was great, to be honest. The only reason Jimmy did push Punk was because he was getting heated with Jay, and to keep Jay away from Punk. So I thought the dynamic between all three men worked perfectly, and I really hope Jay and Jimmy, I mean, especially Jay, doesn't go back to his eating stick next week after this segment.
No, he will, 100%.
I do hope they do. It would be so
Definitely will.
so amazing if they join in and beat Punk next week with Roman Reigns. But obviously, I don't think they're gonna do that, because their direction is the Usos be the Vision. But yeah, man, just a great segment.
Luke, you're not big and sweaty enough for that. I'm sorry. Vince McMahon likes his men. He likes his men oiled up, big, strong.
He likes big and sweaty men. Luke's fat and greasy.
But just going back to this segment, I think I said it on last week's episode. I really hope Punk has an interaction with the Usos, and we got that. Listen, Jey Uso, I know people have been very critical of him recently, but I've always said when Jey Uso is serious, that is the best Jey Uso. This promo was absolutely electric. I loved it. I mean, I'm so happy that this story, because you know WWE logic, usually they forget stuff of the past, but with this storyline, they're bringing everything and everyone into it, and I love it. The way it slowly escalated as Punk refused to apologize, I'm just really, really loving whatever Punk and Roman have got going on so far. Like every single week, they're keeping me interested and they're adding another layer, another dynamic to it. And I completely agree with Danny. I mean, next week, is Roman on next week, right?
Yeah.
Should be.
Yeah.
He has to come in and just absolutely kill Punk. He even use the Usos, because I said
Larry
this last
Lang,
week as
sorry.
well. Nobody
Yeah, but are we just
is a
gonna-
baby face and nobody is a heel in this program between the two. Just both need to do evil, despicable shit to each other. It's got to that level now where, I mean, Punk was talking about Larry today in an interview. I'm sorry, man. Yeah. Punk, you know what Roman should do? Roman should come out and then on the Titantron, point to the Titantron with pictures of Larry and stuff. That would be amazing. But
He's gonna piss on his grave.
Yeah, man,
but
he's gonna
listen,
dig up the dead dog or something, man.
bro, Jey Uso, when Jey Uso's heated, that's my favorite version of Jey Uso. I still remember that. Do you remember that Bloodline promo he cut when they were kicking Jimmy out and he's like, "I'm out too." Mate,
Yeah,
That was incredible, man.
But this is what WWE needs to do with Jey Uso. They need to. I mean, they were doing it a few months ago, and then they randomly just abandoned it. They're pushing like a darker, more serious version of Jey. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for the future of this. I mean, I saw a tweet today. Someone said the ending of Night 2 of WrestleMania is going to be the Bloodline reuniting. Like, you're going to have Roman.
I really hope it's
the
not.
Usos holding the belts.
It's gonna be the exact same. They're gonna just rehash the exact same stuff that they did, and they rinsed it so dry when it happened for 4 years straight. I really don't want to see that again. I'll be real. It's probably gonna happen again because that's the last successful major storyline, let's say, they've had, the Bloodline. But the last few years of the Bloodline was shit. Let's be real. Outside the Sami Zayn stuff, it was stale. Every single match ended the exact same way. Ref bump, Bloodline interference, Roman wins. It's going to be the exact same thing again, and it's going to be really shit. It won't hit the same second time.
Obviously. Yeah, I don't think they can do the exact same stuff they were doing the first time around, especially because they're all babyfaces this time. I don't think they can have interferences after interferences and ref bump after ref bump. Just let Roman wrestle for a bit proper before, without every match getting interfered. I really hope the Punk match is just them two wrestling. I don't want any interference from anyone outside. They can all just stay away from the match.
But they're going to wheel out the whole MFTs at this point.
Yeah, I think Kobe just touched on it now. Jey Uso was doing some incredible work. I think it was around WrestlePalooza and Crown Jewel time, right? He was basically wanting to be the tribal chief, and he was like, "Listen, we were saying, oh, this might lead to a JV Roman match or Jey Martin heel against Roman Cody Punk at War Games," and they just dropped that. Like all of a sudden, dropped that. They had him challenged for the title against Punk, lose that Saturday main event. After that, he went back to being a tag team, and I was like, "You have such a good opportunity here." Jey was doing some of his best work at that time, right? Since a long time, since probably the Bloodline stuff. I mean, like they've dropped it, and then he went on to tag team stuff, which fair enough. He's always going to go back to the tag team division, and now this is where he excels. Like Hoppy said, he's a hothead. When he gets angry, riled up, he can cut a really good promo. He does tend to get out of breath, but yeah, you can't expect that when it's so funny when he gets out of breath because you can actually tell, and it affects his promos too. But yeah, I really hope they do keep this stuff with Jey and Jimmy going. Although they will probably defend the titles against the Vision and probably retain them. To be honest, I don't see Logan and Austin Theory winning the tag titles at WrestleMania. And yeah, Night 2 will probably end with the Bloodline reuniting and holding all the titles.
And then The Rock shows up, man.
Or to set up the match at Mania 14.
At Mania Saudi. Ooh.
Somebody's comment. I don't know if the live chat is delayed on the stream, but someone said The Rock cost Roman at Mania.
Someone, yeah.
I know, man. Imagine The Rock cost him and he builds to Saudi.
Do you know what I was hoping? Yeah.
To be honest, I think this Punk title reign has been the best thing in wrestling right now. I think every single match has been unreal. Every single feud's been class. The Balor feud was so good. Both matches were great. AJ Styles match was great. Which one was the one before that? Now I can't even remember.
Braun Breaker.
Yeah, every single match been quality, and every single promo's been quality too. And obviously, this has led into like Balor turning face. It's leading to obviously main event at WrestleMania. It's probably the best works Roman's done since the Cody feud. Obviously, the last year, Roman's really not done much. Last Mania again wasn't really anything insane. Wasn't at the level he was at. Let's say he wasn't bad by any means, but obviously he's not been around much as well. So you can say it's the first time he's really been interesting since losing the belt. And
I agree with you.
It's something to
Yeah.
gain for him.
The main thing
but
with
I don't
Roman
think he should
Reigns
win.
is
I don't
think
like part-time champions in general. I think if you're the world champion, you need to be on TV at least most weeks, not every single week. Fair enough if he's not going to be on every single week, but at least most weeks. At least say half of in a month. You got to go on at least half the shows. You don't have to wrestle on every pay-per-view or whatever. But I want to see belts defended. That's why I really like this Punk run. He's defending the belt often. He's on TV every single week. He's about 50 years old almost, and he's been the best thing on the roster yet again, like he's always been, because he's the best in the world.
Oh yeah.
the thing with Roman Reigns is, right, you can't really develop his character and any storylines properly because he's not there, is it?
Exactly.
So you can't really revolve any
Yeah.
storylines around him until WrestleMania, because for WrestleMania he'll be there for, like, he's there for I think 5 out of the 7 weeks for Mania, which is perfect, right? You
Yeah,
need
that's
that to
right.
basically build something good with Punk. Before that, he'll be here and there for a show before SummerSlam, 2 weeks before SummerSlam, or before Royal Rumble. He'll be there too.
Yeah.
I mean, he went there all before Royal Rumble this year, and
He'll
he's
be
still
wheeled
winning.
out for a Saudi show or something.
Exactly, and you can't really revolve any storylines around him or develop his character properly. This, like you said, is the first time in a really long time where you said, okay, this is something Roman seems interested in and something he seems interesting to the fans, right? Before this, that obviously, Roman's the biggest star. He's gonna get pops no matter what. People are gonna like him. But I have, like you said, been interested in a Roman Reigns feud since the Cody one at WrestleMania 40.
Yeah, exactly.
He done the stuff with Solo, then he done the stuff with Punk and Seth last year. That was really meh because
Yeah.
that build went
It
great.
feel
Then,
very shoehorned, didn't it?
yeah, and then he was feuding with Braun and Bronson at SummerSlam, beat him. Then he had 2 matches with Bronson Reed. No one really cared about because, I mean, they've done nothing with Bronson Reed since, and Roman took a loss there. He came back Rumble, announced himself with the video packages because he wasn't going to be there. Won the Rumble, and finally he's doing something it looks like he seems interested in. So I've got real high hopes for this feud. I'd be surprised if this isn't one of the feuds of the year by the end of the year, and in general one of the best matches of the year by the end of the year.
100%. I mean, Roman cut that was it the Pat McAfee show when he came out? He made those comments like, "Oh, WWE, I'm not creating new stars, blah blah." I feel like that was more frustration from him, and where he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take shit into my own hands now. I'm gonna start." I mean, we've seen it. Him and Cody had that disagreement. Roman said, "I ain't putting you over, blah blah. I want to do what's best for me," and this is what's best for him. Roman and Punk, the feud has been so good. People have got not, I'd say, bored, but just not been interested in Roman since. I don't know when, to be honest. Since he dropped the title to Cody,
Mania 40, yeah.
Cody, yeah.
Interesting. But now people are like, so that this is why Roman Reigns is the tribal chief. This is why this guy was the face of the company for so long. Kept the company on his back. This is the sort of promos. This is the sort of segments he needs to be having. And yeah, man, I think Football is Life said Roman should lose, right? But I think for me, with both, this is the case with both main events this year. It doesn't matter who wins or loses. I think either there can be a case for both people winning, right? Like Punk, if Punk wins, I'll be happy because Punk's reign has been so good. He's there every week. It makes sense. If Roman wins, I'm happy as well because he maybe is finally to get one over on Punk, the guy who's been this shadow in his shadow for like the past 10 years. Fans. Finally rectifying that and finally getting a win. It'll be interesting to see how will it be a clean or will it be someone turning heel or interfering? Like obviously The Rock, there's that shadow as well. And yeah, similar to the Cody Randy one. I think for me, if I was to predict it right now, I think Roman Reigns is going to win at Mania because he's lost the last. He's not going to lose 3 Manias in a row, is he? So I'm confident Roman is going to win. Not sure how they're going to have him on Raw and stuff afterwards, but we will see. And in the other main event, Cody Randy, I generally think Cody's going to win. And I'm hoping Randy turns heel after the match if it's just Cody like winning and then they shake hands and they hug, you know how angry I'm going to be.
I
Oh
need
no,
Randy
they
to start
can't do
yelling the
that.
crowd up. I'm sorry.
He needs to
I
punt him,
don't
bro.
want face versus face.
Bro, I don't know why. I have a bad feeling that's gonna.
I feel like during the match, yeah, there should be like instances where like Randy set him up for a punt, and he's like, nah, I can't do it to Cody, I can't do it to Cody, and then he loses, and then he just snaps, and that's where he punts Cody, and then you can carry on the feud, going into Payback, going into well, the PLEs later down the line
Clash
or later in
Italy.
the year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Randy should win with a punt at Mania. I think firstly, Randy deserves a world title reign. He's not had a world title reign since 2018, I think it was, when he beat Bray Wyatt.
2020. 2020 when against Drew.
Oh, 20. Oh, yeah.
in
That,
COVID,
yeah. I
yeah.
completely forgot about that, to be honest. It lasted about 2 weeks.
That was a really good run as well.
Yeah.
Randy's
Yeah,
character,
when
that
he brought back the legend killer gimmick, he killed Christian and Edge and
Big Show.
Joe and
Yeah.
everyone else. Yeah, I forgot about that, to be honest. But again, it's been 6 years since he's won a world title.
I think there's some guys, yeah, that can be equally good as baby faces and heels, but then there's some guys who just excel at being a heel. And listen, Randy as a baby face is good. He's not even bad, but he's just so much more interesting as a heel. And I can't wait for him to turn heel because since he's come back, I'll be real, he hasn't been very interesting. He's been a bit boring, if I'm being completely honest. And through no fault of his own.
Bloodline.
It's the way the company have just used him. But yeah, man, I'm really excited for both main events now. I mean, Cody, Randy, you haven't really seen the build yet, but I'm expecting it to be good. I mean, speaking of news, Road Dogg, the man in my profile picture,
Road Slop,
rage quitted
Let's go, man.
WWE apparently over frustrations over creative.
No.
Bro, this is so telling if you watch SmackDown, right? Like it's night and day. Last year's SmackDown and this year's SmackDown. So apparently Road Dogg got demoted, right? So first he was like a lead writer or booker, whatever. He got demoted and they bought Ryan Wardrobe, who used to run NXT, right? So he's like he's head of Road Dogg now. And obviously Road Dogg didn't take that really well, right? He probably has his ego, when everything should be in my hand, etc., etc. And he didn't like that. So he was like, yeah, I'm out. So yeah, I mean it's really telling because
That's really sad for the company.
SmackDown's been so much better this year than it was last year. Like it's so telling if you watch the shows. There's so many better storylines, so many better matches, the promos, everything is just SmackDown feels like a whole new show, right? And yeah I think Road Dogg was the guy who was kind of holding this show back. Company were like, yeah, we're gonna demote you now, bring up Ryan Ward, who's doing a fantastic job, and he kind of got pissed and said, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, I think SmackDown was the worst show in wrestling last year.
Yeah.
Night there with Raw wasn't better than Dynamite, wasn't better than Collision. It might have been better than TNA. I don't know who the hell watches TNA. NXT was better as well. I thought Raw has been for the last year or so, especially since Punk's been world champion, been a good watch. Obviously, it's not been perfect per se, but there's something to tune in for. When Cody was world champion in SmackDown, everything felt like, he wasn't really going to do anything. It's a bit boring. It was a bit of a stale run, let's say, until, the Drew situation. He had the whole thing with Fatu and Drew back then, and then it got dragged out to now. And obviously no one thought Drew would win that title on SmackDown. It was very predictable, you thought, every week. And obviously we started getting a bit of unpredictability in the last couple of months, I guess, and SmackDown's actually been a good watch. It's been decent. And I thought, finally something to actually tune in for, because I'll be real, I was skipping SmackDown. I was not sitting through 3 hours of that. I would skip it, never staying up for it, watch a few clips in the morning, the day after. If anything piques my interest, I'll tune in for it, but nothing really, made you want to watch SmackDown, let's say, for the last year.
Yeah, I mean, I actually like Road Dogg as a personality. I think he's kind of funny. But yeah, man, he's very out of touch, isn't he? But let's go back to Raw then. I want to talk about the Vision, right? Oh my God, what on earth was that segment? Oh,
oh dear.
I don't understand. Seth has revealed himself. What is the point of still doing the whole Mask Man stuff? I really don't get it, man.
Me and Lenny were recording the Combat Council on Monday, and because Raw started an hour earlier, I missed this segment, and then I went on Twitter, and seen it, and I was like, why are there a bunch of masked men running around the ring? What is the objective here? And it looks
Jumbled them
so
up.
it looks so goofy, bro. Like they were just running around the ring, and they had Anna Pierce come out, Logan Paul and Austin Theory come out, and they had I mean, we already know Seth's the masked man, right? And
Yeah.
I get the idea. I get what they were trying to do, kind of, but the execution of this was horrible. It made them all look like dogs. It made Triple H look like the biggest dog, to be honest, because who is booking this? I think it's probably Paul Heyman. This seems like a Paul Heyman kind of idea. He used to do Masked Man back in the Bloodline. Now he's doing it with the Vision. It's definitely a Paul Heyman idea. It's got him written all over it. I think they were trying to do Seth being this kind of mastermind, and the Adam Pierce and the Virgin not being able to read his next move because he can disappear one moment to come back next moment, and he's got a bunch of masked men that can help him. Because let's be honest, I don't think he's really fit yet, so he can't really get involved in any physical action. I get what they were trying to do, but my God, the execution of this was the worst, probably. Like
Yeah.
no one is ever gonna take a bunch of masked men running around and disappearing like that on a wrestling show. Seriously, I'm sorry.
Do you know what this felt like? It felt like a really crap attempt at trying to do like an aura moment. Because in like
Yeah.
movies and shows, it's a trope,
Definitely, yeah.
right? When there's so many guys wearing the same thing and they disappear into them. I remember it was in Joker and he puts the mask on and there's so many people with the mask.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It felt like just a crap attempt at trying to do their own version of that. And it was so
You know what it
bad.
feels like? You know the
The way
opening
they
scene
were
in the Dark Knight?
circling, the way they were bumping into each other and stuff. I was always going on. This is so stupid.
It's like the first scene in the Dark Knight where the Joker's trying to rob the
Yeah,
bank,
yeah, yeah.
and then all
But,
the Jokers got the masks on.
I mean, Danny, you brought up the point of Paul Heyman. There's a tweet I sent to you, mate, if you can pull it up. This guy, it's time to go to court on this guy. This guy is one of the biggest frauds in wrestling, and I've been waiting to say this for a while now. People revere this guy as this genius, blah, blah, blah. Bro, the guy is a fraud of the highest order. I mean, people get on to Triple H and stuff, but my biggest issue is with Paul Heyman. This is a guy that is heralded as this like messiah of creative booking and stuff. Like, oh, he's such a genius because he knows how to cut a good promo. Okay, yeah, he's a great promo.
Yeah,
I'll
of
give
course.
him that. But his track record is absolutely appalling when it comes to booking shows. I mean, ECW, his own baby that he loves to go on about, loves to bang out about.
He killed the
Mate,
company,
you
mate.
ran that shit into the ground. You ran it out of business. I believe he still owes people money, wrestlers money, and businesses money from
But
the.
they ain't seen this money ever.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, the tweet says he's the
Tommy
biggest.
Dreamer was ready to shoot this man with a gun.
Bro, can you imagine that? That would have been, everyone thinks Chris Benoit was bad. That would have been
Bro, that
100
was-
times worse, bro. On live TV, at WrestleMania 17, Paul Heyman getting shot by Tommy Dreamer. Listen, this guy is not a nice person at all. Which I'm not saying he has to be nice. It's the wrestling industry, for God's sake. But he's just such a slime ball. I just really dislike him. The way he talks to fans in such an obnoxious way, like he's better than everyone. Like, bruv, you look like a fat walrus. Like, who are you? Who are you? You.
Oh,
But yeah, man, Paul Heyman. Listen, Brock Lesnar. There was no way Brock Lesnar could be fumbled, so I don't even want to give him credit for that. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
CM Punk is a star in his own right.
He's not
CM
fumbled
Punk
that
was
good,
fine before him, and he's big.
Even
before him.
Roman Reigns, bro. Roman Reigns, all he needed was a character tweak and a series, and he doesn't even need Paul Heyman. He's capable, more than capable on the mic. So what I'm trying to say is the only guy who actually needed him for mic skills was Brock Lesnar. But Brock doesn't even need mic skills like that. He's just such a physical specimen and an attraction. He was always going to be a success. The guys that have actually needed him, right? Let's go over some of these names. Curtis Axel, right back.
What do you mean he's still in the 2012 Rumble? He's not been eliminated yet.
Bro, Cesaro. I remember he was even Cesaro's manager as well for a bit. Who else? And then obviously the whole Vision. He's failed with every single person in the Vision as well. He looks so out of place that he's not even needed. Yeah, Paul Heyman. This guy, is he one of the biggest frauds in wrestling?
I think he's definitely overrated. I don't know about fraud because I think he's one of the best promos of all time. Obviously, his stuff with Lesnar's been great for the most part. His stuff with Roman was great. His stuff with Punk was great. The Seth stuff wasn't good. The Vision stuff wasn't good. Obviously, Cesaro, Curtis Axel, everyone else a long time ago. ECW ran into the ground. But I wouldn't say a fraud. I say very overrated. I think he's still probably the best manager of all time. I wasn't around for Bobby Heenan and that, so I wouldn't know. But I think he's probably still the best manager of all time.
The Hall of Fame and Augustine. 100%, bro.
Good man.
You know what? It's funny because ever since that, he's gone downhill, hasn't he? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, apparently he's written himself. I don't know who's decided it, but he's been written off indefinitely. Wow, what a coincidence, mate! What a coincidence! Because the vision is failing, and he's like, oh, let me just leave. By the time the vision disbands, Heyman should leave for GCW.
He needs to go to Turkey, bro. Get that hairline sorted, man. That's what he needs.
Yeah, this guy's a big fraud, bro. Like, listen, no one's gonna deny this guy's one of the most creative minds in wrestling, right? I think we all agree with that. But he's just so out of touch
Jonathan.
now. He's so out of touch now. And Kobe said it. With every guy who's had potential that wasn't a start. So let's ignore your Brock, Roman, Punk, Seth, and anyone else. Maybe Angle, but Angle wasn't really established then when Paul Heyman was with him. Rob Van Dam, Big Show. Then let's go to guys like Cesaro, Curtis Axel, Ryback, all these
Yeah,
guys
Ryback.
he failed with all of these guys.
Shout out
And-
Ryback, man. He commented on Mission Podcast TikTok one time.
But yeah,
Right
man,
back, good guy, man.
Kobe said just one of the biggest frauds ever, and kind of gets overrated by some fans, and especially in 2026. I think the wrestling business as a whole is just gone beyond him, right? And you should just call your day. And like Jonathan said, just leave for GCW and go to some other promotion because
GCW.
you're kind of watching WWE. Paul Heyman built like King.
No, he's built like a penguin, man.
Put some respect on
He's
King.
more penguin. Imagine him walking around with a little umbrella.
William Montgomery is a big Paul Heyman fan. I don't get that reference.
Who's William Montgomery?
I'm guessing.
Wait, who's that?
I'm guessing it's a Jew, but I
I
mean,
never Google.
yeah. Lenny,
I'll
you
know
have
who
to
that is.
Google. Yeah, Paul Heyman, fraud watch, man. I've been saying this for time. I'm glad the masses are finally waking up to it as well. But can we talk about another fraud? And whilst we're on the topic of frauds, Triple H has come out today.
Big notice.
Oh my god! I feel like Triple H is rage baiting at this point. Like he just says stuff that he knows fans are gonna get pissed, and then he starts. I bet he sits there on Twitter reading these tweets, like, calling him like, shit and stuff, and he's just laughing at. Look at these marks.
I reckon he just does things to pop his mates.
What, mate? He ain't got none, man.
He just tries to pop all the DX guys in the back. That's all
Wait,
he
Road
does.
Dogg
what
and
did
that.
he say? Copy. I haven't seen this.
You haven't seen, but
Yeah,
well,
neither.
basically, he's come out and said, that the current era is bigger.
Oh,
than
I seen this. Yeah.
the era ever was. Like, oh my god!
Yeah,
What
Yeah,
is
man, the day his heart explodes, bro. I'll be doing the Fortnite dance on his grave. Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na,
You know why he said that, by the way? Because he knows he'll never ever be heralded as the main guy from the Attitude Era. So he's like, oh, you know what? Let me get my 2 cents in. No matter
But
how
he's never
much
been the main guy in any era.
Bro, have you seen these
Mate,
like
the Netflix era,
the
mate.
WWE 2K? They're doing the Attitude Era mode again.
Yeah.
Have you seen how they're trying to put Triple H at front and center and moving guys like The Rock and Stone Cold to the side? Like,
Yeah.
oh
Foley
my
didn't
God.
even make the poster.
They did this with I think it was a vault right there. So they were uploading something to do with the Attitude Era on YouTube, and in the poster they had, I think it was Rock and Triple H in the middle, and Stone Cold was Raw on the right side, and no Foley. I'm like, bro, who are you? Who are you kidding?
Let me make this very clear. If Shawn Michaels didn't need someone sober around him, Triple H would not have a career.
Listen, Triple H,
Okay, second field to Shawn his entire career. Triple H is good. He's never been the best wrestler in the world at any point in his career.
Yeah, never.
He's a great wrestler, okay? He's not a GOAT. I wouldn't put him in a GOAT category. I put him in the category under. He's second field to Shawn. He wasn't better than Rock. He wasn't better than Austin. He wasn't better than Foley. He wasn't better than guys like Kurt Angle. There's so many guys from his era who are better than him. Even if you look at Ruthless Aggression era, the era after him.
I disagree with Foley. I think he's better than Foley. That's a bit harsh.
Okay, maybe it's a bit harsh, but
And Triple H, for me, is a weird one, right? Like Triple H as a wrestler and as a character, I've always said he gets pretty overhated by fans, right? He's been in some of the best feuds and rivalries of all time. He's one of the greatest heels of all time. He's one of the greatest on the mic of all time. I give him my respect, 100%.
yeah.
But as a creative, I just can't stand the guy. He's so full of himself. Yeah, him and his wife both are so self-indulgent.
Hey,
It
not that
really,
much on Stephanie, man. Not that much on Stephanie, man. Chill, 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 chill.
no, but I
Steph
mean,
Demon.
Steph, you always welcome on Mission Pod.
I don't know why Triple H just wants to be known as this like pioneer of wrestling and this revolutionary. You're never gonna be that guy. I'm sorry. And you know, there's no shame in it as well. Do you know what I mean? You're still a top guy. I give you respect, but like, is his ego that fragile that he has to always try and put
Yeah.
himself as
I think
the
he's got
guy?
really gassed by NXT Black and Gold back in the day because
Omer,
obviously that's
Omer,
really loved.
I'm glad you brought that up, right? So Triple H used to hate indie wrestlers back in the day, right? Like
Yeah.
he did not like working with indie wrestlers.
Mm.
And all of a sudden, when the current product with Vince was dying, he was like, okay, let me acquire all these indie wrestlers. He bought Kevin Owens, Nakamura, Balor, Joe, and he made everyone love him because they gave basically everyone was watching NXT Gold over the main roster because they didn't like him, right?
Yeah.
And that way, he I don't think he really likes indie wrestlers himself, but he knew the fans liked him. So he was like, okay, let me put all these indie wrestlers in these positions. Let me push them. They came to NXT. NXT was the best show, for such a long time because the product under Vince wasn't good, right? This
Yeah.
guy's so shameless. He did not like indie wrestlers himself, but he's like, okay, how can I benefit this on my code? Let me give the fans a product with indie wrestlers so they can like me, so they can know that I'm giving them an alternative to the main roster. It's so crazy how he's such a big egomaniac, and it's a similar case with tag team wrestling. Tag team wrestling in WWE for a good 10-15 years wasn't really good, right? But Black and Gold NXT tag team matches were
Wow.
amazing. FDR, Champion Gargano, Alpha,
Orphan
yeah,
Pain.
Jordan, Chad Gable, all the tag teams. They did
Wow.
so much good stuff, and that was the reason Triple H was like, okay, let me give these guys an alternative because I don't really like the main roster. He did this with indie wrestlers. He did that with tag teams. So it's a case of like, yeah, let me boost my own ego. Let me make the fans really like me just because, I want to see better than the main roster. But he's a funny guy, man.
The
But you
thing
know,
is,
in the
yeah, go
space
for
of
it.
2 years, 2 3 years since he's taken over, right, as the head of WWE, the fall from grace has been crazy. It's been beautiful to see. Not gonna lie. How can you guys? You have fans wanting Vince McMahon back, and we all know how
How bad
bad
it
Vince
was.
McMahon was towards the end, right? And this is a guy with literal crimes against humanity and
Very bad crimes as well.
his own version of the Epstein files, probably. And the fans want him back over Triple H.
It
I
was too
just find,
evil for that island, man.
but yeah, listen, Triple H, his comment as well. I just don't get what does he mean? The current era is bigger than the
I
actual.
mean,
I mean,
numbers
in terms
wise
of
on like
money and like
pay-per-views and
views,
shit, probably.
maybe, but it's
Yeah,
easy though in the era where the internet and social media is so prevalent,
exactly.
Netflix, stuff like that. Of course they're gonna make more money and more revenue than any other era. But I'm sorry, nothing will ever. I mean, we weren't alive to witness it in real time, right? Um, the Attitude Era, but we all hear stories of it. We've all seen clips like the energy the fans had, the buzz it generated. Different. It was just different. No era can compete. I still say the Ruthless Aggression is overall combined the best era WWE's ever had.
I
But
agree.
yeah, I mean, let's go to the live chat a bit. The Rock draws more in one night than Triple H does in a lifetime. Facts. Thomas, I said, he's going to come out of Mania and tell the fans to buy
He actually is as well.
He's
Like,
gonna announce a
buy
new
the King
era
of Kings
with that
edition.
promo.
Oh man, this.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised. Well, he's definitely going to open Mania. He always does it every PLE.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing opening like Mania. Every single PLE gets boring. Okay, fair
Mania
enough.
is fine because
Open
Mania is the biggest show of the year, right?
Mania,
But
SummerSlam, even a Rumble or Survivor Series or something, fair enough. He doesn't need to do every pay-per-view. He doesn't need to do it on like a special Raw even.
Bro runs the Are You Ready gimmick every PLE. Like, bro, we get it, man.
bro,
Yeah,
and after
it's
every
not a new
PLE,
era tonight.
it's a new era. It's a new era on Raw. Like, oh, just sharp.
The
But
new
you know
era
what?
on
So
Fight
far,
Club.
I'm surprised though. He hasn't come out and said. Do you remember last year? He was how cocky he was after
critics,
Elimination Chamber,
yeah.
and he's
Yeah.
like, "Are you guys on the road to Mania now?" He hasn't come out and said. I think he's been humbled a bit. He's seeing the ticket sales. People are tired.
Well,
of
I
him.
mean, if you're charging the prices TKO are charging for tickets, you can't really be shocked that people don't want to buy in this economy.
Did you
The
see the
world,
report that came out today? So
They dropped
basically,
him.
the cheapest seat was $227, right? And they put that down to $177. I mean, still expensive, but
still
they've put
wild.
it down. Yeah,
But
that's so crazy.
I remember This was in the year 2018, right? SmackDown, Manchester. I saw AJ Styles win the world title. I paid £15 for my ticket.
That's mental. Yeah,
Damn.
that's crazy.
It's it's like it's not the same as it used to be. I checked a live event recently. It was the cheapest ticket was like £80. It was a nosebleed seats for a live event. It's not even a televised event. I'm not gonna get to see everyone you see on TV as well. It's just like people are not gonna pay that much money for something when the product's really shit as well. Like one thing Vince got right was ticket sales. He genuinely cared about the fans. He might have not had the best product, especially in the late
Yeah.
70s. Obviously, horrible, horrible human being, but he cared about the fans. He wanted it to be accessible, and that's one thing I want to commend the boy Tony Khan for, because AEW tickets are very affordable and very cheap. All out, all in, all out, all in.
I mean, because Vince McMahon understood
Well,
his audience, didn't he? He understood
Family,
that
yeah,
it's the
family.
working class, it's the families, it's the children. He wasn't that stupid. I mean, I don't think it's Triple H. It's probably TKO, obviously, but it is what it is now. I mean, we're seeing it with not just WWE, with UFC as well. TKO is having a very bad effect on both companies right now. We need things to change, but let's go back to Monday Night Raw then. Another significant thing.
Wait, can we go back to this was so funny when we see the Raw.
I was crying, man.
How are you feeling? This is
You're welcome for the picture, man. You're welcome. I was crying, man.
Oh shit,
it's too funny,
Bro, I
bro.
was
Yeah.
crying.
you got Luke in the mask.
bro, that's giving me Solo vibes. I don't know why.
He's bigger than Solo, bro. Look at the
That's
size
way
of
bigger,
that.
bro. That's Obafemi.
They got Otis in there, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
One way-
you mentioned
I think-
Obafemi there, but yeah, reports are coming out that WWE are actually listening to fans for once. It looks like Brock Lesnar and Obafemi could be on for WrestleMania 42. Meat on meat, I am seated.
Yeah, a meat fest is exactly what people want. Obviously, Oba's a very, very good wrestler. I'm a big fan of him. Brock's Brock. It just depends what Brock wants to give to Oba. And it depends which version of Brock we get, because we could get a really boring, shitty Brock Lesnar who doesn't want to give him anything and just hits his suplexes and goes home. Or we could get Brock who wants to sell for him and put a shift in and make this guy a star, because he's got every single thing going for him. He's got a look, he's got a promo, he's very good in the ring. The crowd seem to like him, and he can be a monster.
So there was a report that came out 2 days ago, right? So Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar have said to Creative they don't want Brock Lesnar to lose until his final match, which I think is really stupid. He's got nothing to gain, nothing to lose, because he's retiring real soon. Why not have him lose to Obafemi? The fact they've made this match makes me optimistic that that report was kind of false. That surely the company aren't that stupid to have Brock be Obafemi at Mania. Surely the company have some common sense. Maybe that's the reason they were doing the LA match first, because let's be honest, Brock Lesnar was going to be LA 10 times out of 10. But with a guy like Obafemi, a guy you just brought up from the main roster, a guy who's really clicked with the fans, great promo, like Omar said, he's really charismatic, he can wrestle. He's basically Brock Lesnar in 2003. That's what Obafemi is right now, and Brock Lesnar should absolutely lose to Obafemi. And again, like Omar said, it depends what Brock's able to give him, right? If it's a boring match and Brock Lesnar doesn't care, which I'll be honest, he doesn't care all right now, right? That Cena match, War Games, Rumble, he did not give a shit. Like the Rumble elimination was funny. He quite literally told Cody to eliminate him, and Cody and LA took him over the top rope. I personally don't think he cares anymore in 2026, but you've got, I'd say, 2-3 matches. I think he's probably got this match at WrestleMania, maybe a Saudi match at Night of Champions or something, and then the SummerSlam match. If he does want to extend past SummerSlam, I can see him doing WrestleMania at Saudi next year, but I think he'll call it a day. At SummerSlam, you've got to lose this, man. You've got to lose to Obafemi. Maybe get a win back before you face Gunther at Night of Champions. He could beat someone at Night of Champions and then face Gunther at SummerSlam. Maybe do that way, but it'll be one of the biggest mishaps at WrestleMania if they are. I mean, we'll be watching this live and reacting to it live. So if we see Brock Lesnar beat Obafemi, I reckon we'll all be really angry. Yeah, because you can't fumble a guy like Obafemi. He's got it all, man. And I think we were talking a few months, where would you put guys like Jacob, Braun, and Oba like in the pecking order, right? I think Oba's at the top right now. I think Oba's at the top right now, and in 6 months he
Mm.
could be way clear than. I think Braun's gonna be world champion really soon. I think Jacob's gonna be champion really soon. But what I see from Oba, he's a complete package for me, and they can't have Brock Lesnar be Oba for me at WrestleMania.
Bro,
Oh,
Oba's got to win. Then he's got to win King of the Ring, King Oba, and then he beats Randy for the belt at like, the end of the year, man.
Cool.
That's he
that's
needs
a
to have
good shout.
a special 6-7 months. It has to happen.
But yeah,
Oh
I mean,
fuck's sake, man!
but Danny, I mean, you said
Sake.
in the report, right, that Brock Lesnar doesn't want to lose. Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, LA Knight, bro, you're doing the
Yeah,
job.
same.
Yeah.
Oh mate, Brock LA Knight would be hilarious. Oh, that would be hilariously bad to watch. But
I think the biggest thing with this is where does that leave Gunther?
Rey Mysterio in it.
Open
I think
challenge
he's getting,
Ray or some shit.
yeah, I
I
think he's
don't
getting
know.
great.
Yeah, I don't know.
Again,
But I don't
it's
think
Brock,
Gunther,
I,
Rey
I
Mysterio
think
needs him.
I think Brock
I'll
will
be
do
real.
will do good in a match with Oba though. I feel like Brock,
Yeah, of
if
course.
he respects you and he's like something in you, he will give you a good match. He will bump for you. I can see him 100% doing that for Oba Femi.
Yeah, I just hope we don't get a Dean Ambrose situation.
It won't.
Oh, forever.
I mean, match doesn't need to be anything special, right? It just needs to be
Yeah, of
10
course. It won't give more than 10, 5,
just
10
doing
minutes.
huge moves to each other, getting huge offense, and then Oba just destroying him at the end, you know, as a big shock moment. And as Lenny said, the next logical thing for Oba Femi is to win King of the Ring and then probably challenge for one of the titles at SummerSlam, whether it's Randy or Roman.
I want him to be Roman Reigns. I'm not gonna lie. I want Oba Femi to be Roman Reigns at SummerSlam.
I can't see Roman having a short title run if he wins the belt. I think he holds that belt at least a year.
Nah, surely not.
It's Roman
Surely
Reigns.
he'll be willing to drop it to a guy like Oba. I mean, we'll see. But even Jacob Fatu, I think Roman will probably drop the belt. If there's 3 guys right now who he'd like to drop the belt to, I mean, it's early as we won it. Oba, Jacob, and Braun. I think he'll be willing to take an L to any of these guys.
You'll wait a year for WrestleMania, and then you'll have to wait for.
You know what? This is why I'm frustrated though, because you know they bought Brock back, right? They bought it for some reason. They just bought him for shock factor.
Yeah,
You know
100%.
what? I'm gonna go even as far as say this year. This is a bit dark, but I think the reason they bought him back at SummerSlam last year is as a bit of a fu to Janelle Grant. That's the only reason.
100%.
Because
I think
they brought him back for Cena and that atrocious War Games match. Like, why? If anything, only thing I want to see Brock do is him versus Jacob, him versus Braun, and him versus Gunter, him versus Oba. Those 4 matches. If we don't get to see those 4 matches before the time Brock is officially done and retired, it will be a huge loss to the WWE. It will be a massive shame. So I don't think he's going to retire at SummerSlam. I do think in the Saudi Mania, they're going to throw crazy money at him. He'll do it. But I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it's good. But
Moving on to Umer's boy.
yes, the boy Finn.
I mean, about time, right? Like this has been brewing for over a year. They've been teasing the Dom and Balor split, and we're like, when are they gonna finally do it? And the timing's kind of been right because again, this Punk Balor feud they did a lot for Balor, right? Like he brought Balor up to main event credibility. He had 2 good matches with CM Punk, and it felt like the perfect time for him to turn babyface. And he turned babyface in one thing I was surprised about that JD McDonough took Dom's side stage away. Maybe it'll take a few weeks, but I can definitely see them doing Balor v JD on the road to Mania before they do Dom v Balor at Mania. But yeah, I'm happy this isn't for the RC belt. I've seen people be mad that they want Balor to win the RC belt. Me personally, I think after that Punk v Balor match, that's for me restored Balor's credibility in the main event scene. I don't know if that's for other people, but for me, it certainly has. Having him win the RC belt wouldn't have really done much. Like a good moment for Balor finally winning a world, a title on the main roster since a long time. But again, I'd rather have him just bring back the demon, restore the demon's aura, beat Dom, or maybe have a match, another PLE against whether
Yeah.
if it's Roman or someone as the demon and give the demon the aura back. So I'm not really mad that it wasn't for the ASCII belt. I don't know about you though.
I think it's the right decision. I think Finn's above the IC Championship, to be honest. He's just had 2 very good matches with CM Punk. He's just been in the main event scene for the last few months. Why would you drop him straight back to the mid card and have him win an IC belt, which he's going to have to lose again if he wants to be world champion, because they're not going to give him the IC title and the world champion, aren't they not? So, but honestly, I don't see Finn Balor winning the world championship anytime soon just because of the guys in the main event scene. and I don't think they're gonna push him to that level. Say if Roman Reigns the belt, there's no chance Finn Balor's gonna beat Roman Reigns. As much as I would love it. Same with Randy. I doubt he's gonna go to SmackDown and beat Randy or Cody, if either of them two win or whoever ends after WrestleMania or whatever. I think he should beat Dom. That might be controversial. I don't know. I think he's far more credible than Dom.
Yeah, I think you should beat him too. I think if you bring back the demon, you've got to have him win.
Yeah, you cannot have the demon lose to Dominic Mysterio. That would be the
Edge,
low
I
of
mean,
the low.
39. Yeah.
Oh, that Edge one, man.
No, but at
Fucking
least
hell.
Edge is credible. Dominic
That's true,
Mysterio is not a credible guy to lose to the demon. Roman Reigns beating him, fair enough. Edge beating him, fair enough. But come on, you can't be losing to Dom Mysterio.
Well, mate, as a Balor fan yourself, and say he beats Dom at Mania, and he's
Yeah.
not in the main event scene or winning the world title, what would you like him to see him do? Now there's the Judgment Day Vortex.
Thing is, I want to see him in the main event scene. This guys, he's fought pretty much everyone in the company. There's not really a dream match for Finn Balor because he's been here for like 11, 12 years or whatever it is in the company. He's fought pretty much everyone. He's done pretty much everything except have the world title reign properly. Obviously, he won the Universal title, lost it after a day because of his shoulder injury. I don't want to see him fight Seth again for the millionth time. That's one thing I don't want to see. He's fought Roman. He's fought Punk now. He's had his feud. Maybe Gunther. I think a Balor Gunther feud would be a very good wrestling match. Obviously, Gunther would win. Maybe some of the new guys like Braun. I think he's fought Braun before, but guys like Ober, maybe Trick Williams. Maybe move him to SmackDown, get him away from everyone from the Judgment Day. Let him do his own thing there, build him up, put him in the main event team, let him mix it with Randy and Cody and that. Obviously, there's history with him and Cody. You can use Bullet Club, even though they weren't in Bullet Club at the same time. Obviously, Balor's the founder. Well, Devitt was the founder, but you know what I mean. And Cody thinks he was one of the leaders, even though he wasn't. There's not really much that he's not done. So you just got to build him with good wrestling matches and good feuds until he gets to a point where there's a time for him to win it. But I think hopefully in the next year he does. But again, with all the guys in the main event seed and the potential champions, it doesn't look likely.
To be honest, listen, I've never been the biggest Finn Balor fan. I just haven't really got the appeal with him from the start, from 2016, even when he was one of the hottest things in the company. But I feel like now it's too late to try and push him into the main event. I feel like the current role he should have now is like a gatekeeper. He's there to work with the younger talent. Him working with Dom, have a good feud with him. Occasionally, I mean, similar. You know how they used AJ Styles, kind of similar to that, a bit better, and obviously a bit more. Have given him a bit more meaningful stuff, a bit more tastier stuff. But I think that's what the company sees in Finn Balor right now. I think the ship has sailed, to be honest, to try and get him a world title. I mean, if they were going to give him a world title, it was probably, was it 2 years ago when he was feuding with Seth and Priest or something?
Yeah, that's when he should have won it. He should have beat Priest for it.
After that, I feel like it's just too late now, isn't it? It reminds me of Dolph Ziggler. Do you remember Dolph Ziggler? They kept like delaying.
Yeah.
It. By the time they were trying to put him in the nobody cared anymore. But yeah, this feud, I'm actually one of the people that I would have preferred if it was for the IC belt, simply for the reason, right? I feel like the mid-card titles in WWE these days just don't have a storyline anymore. It's all about open challenges or a multi-man match at Mania. And in the past, right, the mid-card was used it's like a stepping stone, right, to get the guy from the mid-card to the main event, right? If you go back to the history of the IC title, guys like The Rock, guys like Triple H, and Chris Jericho, Jeff Hardy, they used the IC title as a platform to get into the main event. And they had some cool storylines that fans were invested in and made you care. I mean, The Rock and Triple H had an amazing feud, DX and Nation of Domination with the IC title. We just don't see it around the mid-card title anymore. And I get it, the importance and the precedence is on the main event scene, but I mean, just give me a reason to care about these belts, you know? That's why I think a story like this storyline could have been a good way to like elevate the IC title a bit, made you like more invested in it. Because what we're gonna get at Mania is probably going to be a multi-man match. It's not really hard. There's not really any stakes, if you know what I mean.
100% they're gonna put Penta in the ladder match. I can already see it. They'll put Javon in there, Dragon Lee there, maybe both El Grandes in there. a few of the mid carders.
I wouldn't mind one of the El Grandes winning the IC title. By the way, I think both of them are quality. Obviously,
They've
I'm a fan of
announced
Chad
for
Gable.
next week. They've announced for next week's Raw. El Grande v El Grande.
Oh,
I
nice.
can see that ending in a
Okay.
DQ maybe, so that can push on to Mania. I don't know. I doubt it ends clean, and they'd have. I want some kind of stipulation, like the loser has to take off his mask or something like that. I'd like to
Yeah.
really see that, because I think Chad Gable should go back to being Chad Gable. This gimmick, yeah, just get over. Chad Gable's so much better than this, and the company, talk about a guy the company has fumbled. Yeah, Chad Gable's right at the top of your list, so I do hope they do something better with him after Mania. But yeah, I can definitely see the RC title being a larger match. US title, I can see a more of a story. I mean, I know Kobe said I think last week that Melo against Ilya, they both fought a lot, but the story they'll be building is Ilya's basically wanting to not get a rematch with Melo straight away. He wants to earn it, right? And I could definitely see them doing a story where Ilya goes a bit on the dark side. Maybe he doesn't turn heel, but
I would be
he goes
100% supporting that because they
Ilya
have done
Dragunov
Ilya
heel turn.
dirty on the main
Yes,
roster.
bro. Yes, please. I want to see that on the main roster, and especially SmackDown. SmackDown really don't really have that many heel. But going back to Balor, if there's two guys on the Raw roster right now that I would put over to SmackDown after Mania, it will be Gunther and it will be Balor. I think give them both. Gunther in the main event scene with guys like Randy, Cody, and Jacob, I thought will be really good. And Balor again around the mid card and main event scene with guys like Ilya, Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams would be really good for Balor. And he's done enough with the Judgment Day for the last 4 years. He's been in the Judgment Day since 2022. I mean, it's crazy to think Edge created the Judgment Day, because you kind of talk about the Judgment Day when you talk about Finn Balor, right? But yeah, I think Gunther moving up there would be a great move for him after Mania, after he probably beats Rey Mysterio and Balor. Yeah, I think both of them need a fresh change of scenery.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know, but for me these days, the draft and the brand split is just what is the point of it? It's not existent.
Yeah.
It's stupid, bro.
I
They've
don't
They
really.
just bounce on every show anyway.
They fully disbanded the draft. I think they'll probably make like, oh, this guy is gonna move to
They'll
Raw
do
now or
Superstar
SmackDown
Shakeup.
now. That basically they won't announce a Superstar Shakeup, but they'll just do it behind, not
Yeah.
on screen. They say, oh, this guy's on SmackDown now, this guy's on Raw now. I remember one year, I think it was 2023. They were like, yeah, Kevin Owens is on SmackDown now. He's gonna just go away from the tag team with Sami Zayn. Now we're just gonna move into SmackDown with no real
Yeah.
reason. So I see they're doing something with
They do the
Gunther,
same
maybe.
thing with the New Day. They just
Yeah.
moved Big E.
Exactly.
But what is going on? Why is Grayson Waller with the New Day? I don't understand.
It's so
I
funny,
quite
bro.
like it. I'll be real. I think it's really funny.
Yeah, it's just something for Grayson Waller to do. I'll be
Yeah.
honest, because he's going to do nothing else, and having him
He's just
appear
there
in
having fun,
backstage
innit? He's having a
segments.
good time.
But yeah, I mean, another thing, basically, Kofi Kingston was trying to recruit Javon Evans for the New Day, and Javon Evans was having none of that. So maybe that, I mean, that is something for Javon Evans. So maybe they do get a match between Javon and Kofi again. But yeah, I mean, Raw in a nutshell, I thought it was a really good episode, to be honest. There were a lot of storyline advancements we got. I mean, I seen a tweet saying Triple H's three favorite things in wrestling is Mass Men, Betrayal, and Bloodline Law, and we got all three on this episode. So this would have been the dream episode for Triple H watching Raw. I mean, is there anything else to cover on Raw, really?
And just touch New Day, right? Don't you? I think New Day, since they turned heel, has been one of the biggest fumbles ever. I mean, when they turned heel, it was such a great segment with them. It was heartbreaking. Them
Nothing happened.
the Big E, and they just done nothing with it. Like, what is? I don't even know what their gimmick is. It's just dumb. It's just stupid.
Speaking of the tag team, yeah, where the fuck are the Street Profits, man? I'm getting sick and tired of Street Profits
thought
just
this the
sitting
other day.
indoors every day. Like,
There was
where
a
the
tag team
fuck are they,
turmoil
man?
on SmackDown, right? And I
They
was
still weren't in
100%
it.
convinced. I was convinced they were going to be in it and maybe even win it. But I don't know what the company doing with them, man. Maybe they
I
want to
feel
keep
like
him.
tag teams as a whole in WWE are just rubbish.
Yeah.
There's no tag teams.
Do you know what they need to do for
at
tag
all.
teams, yeah? You get Finn and you get Danhausen and you have like Demonhausen. That's what you need to do, man. Let them cook, man.
So basically, the report with Street Profits was that they don't want fans to grow stale of them. I'll grow stale of Street Profits if you give me that slop on SmackDown with MFTs. I'd rather have guys like Street Profits on my TV over that tag division. I mean,
Yeah, chill on the MFTs.
I'm pretty sure you all knew who won the tag team turmoil. Damian Priest and R-Truth. What are we doing
Why
here?
is that a tag
Why
team?
did Damian Priest and R-Truth? They quality formed on that night and they won the tag team turmoil, which is stupid. There was MCMG in there. There
They
was
even register as an
in
official
there.
tag team.
I don't know if they did, but they apparently fighting for the tag titles next. So
Against
wherever that
MFT.
goes, yeah, they are. So
Nice.
I don't
I'm
know, the
not
tag team. I mean, for me, growing up here when I was watching wrestling, tag team wrestling was one of my favorite things. Yeah, it was so
Same.
exciting. So like,
Edge, Ray, Benoit Angle. Yeah,
you know,
so
and
good.
there's so many like chances for characters to build themselves, you know, and establish themselves as huge single stars. We've seen it so the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, Team Hell No, you know, and we just don't have that anymore. None of these there's no service for them. There's no purpose for them. It's just, oh yeah, we need to fill the card, so we put you on, and that's the case with most of the titles in WWE right now. To be honest with you, I mean, the women's mid card titles, they're like, I don't know. Apart
Pointless.
from the IC title, the women's US title is a joke. I'll be honest. The women's tag
Stick it
title,
back with Chelsea Green.
Might as well, man. Julie's in nothing with it.
I think.
I mean, there is a report that Julie's going to probably face Tiffany Stratton at Mania, so maybe she does get on the Mania card if because there was a report last week that there's going to apparently be 6 women's matches on the Mania card, and
Oh shit.
I wouldn't be
Interesting.
surprised if there was actually 6 matches because the other story they're building is AJ Lee against Becky Lynch for the second time, right? I mean, they're doing Bailey v
That's
AJ
so
Lee.
happening at Mania, by
They're
the way.
doing they're doing Bailey v AJ Lee next week on Raw after Bailey won the Gauntlet. 100% Becky Lynch is gonna get involved and cost Bailey that match. That's the way they'll get to the Becky v AJ match at Mania. The women's tag titles, who are held by Lash Legend and Nia Jax, will probably be defended. Bailey and Lara will probably be in that match. Charlotte Alexa. Another match is apparently the report came out today. Io against Asuka, which I'm 100% fine with. I want to see that at Mania because them two
They
are
should make it a
good
triple
way
threat,
well.
low key.
They should, Lenny, but at the same time, I'd rather have Kyrie turn on Asuka at Mania, maybe after the match. I think
Yeah,
that'll be a
that's
much
good
bigger
actually.
impact.
Maybe.
Maybe throughout the summer you can run that feud with Kyrie and Asuka. But yeah, I mean, I won't be surprised if the women's feuds are better than the men's feuds. It's been kind
Yeah,
of the
They
thing for
carry the company, man.
last year, quite easy.
I mean, they'll probably will steal the show on the night. But one thing I want to say, you know, that Rhea and Jade segment was so bad. I'm
Oh
sorry.
my days,
Oh,
yeah.
bro,
It was beyond
It
that
was
so bad.
Bro, I was thinking, yeah, like they're actually gonna lean into it. Maybe they might not bring up what she actually said on Twitter, but like they're gonna be like, oh, so you want to get personal online and stuff like that. I was like, oh, bro, it's gonna be so good. And I hear Jade say, "You got big muscles, but mine are bigger," and I'm like, fuck off! Like,
They
what
made it
is
about
this slop,
aesthetics,
man?
bro. They made it about aesthetics. Who cares? We
Exactly.
The only
basically want
good part was like the ending of it. Like, it was so shit, man.
I don't know. It was stupid because after that social media spat between the two and the other wrestlers, they had such a hot angle and had fans invested, and I don't know, they completely deflated the whole thing after that. So I was like, okay,
So
cool.
Made
dumb.
it shit.
I don't care about this. They don't. I think the company might have told them, listen, you guys need to knock it on the head because we want to give other storylines and stuff the spotlight. You know, Football is Life said bring back Kelly. It's the holy month Ramadan, bro. Let's not
No,
speak.
man. Come on, guys.
I'm
We need
not
to do better than
participating,
that.
so yeah, bring back Kelly, man.
I don't know. Cryptic Gaming said so. I don't know if his comment came up, but he said,
to.
"Will Bron
There we
be back by Mania?"
Hopefully, man. Like, there's no way they're doing all this set stuff for him just to face Logan when it looks like Logan and Austin Theory are going for the tag belts. The way I would do this, right? So this mass men thing has become a joke over the last few weeks, maybe even months, right? There's
Yeah.
a way to salvage this mass men stuff. 1 week you have Seth come out and do this mass men stuff, right? Like a really similar segment to what we were getting on Raw. But the plot twist is, right, behind one of the mass men is Braun
It's
Breaker,
Braun
and
Breaker.
Seth doesn't know that. That would work
I like that.
tremendously well. I think I've seen that on Twitter somewhere. That's actually an idea I can get behind, right? That's the perfect way to bring back Braun Breaker. Seth can think, oh, listen, I'm the mastermind. I've got everything under control. Braun Breaker ain't coming back. The vision of the picture, you know. Let's be honest, Austin Theory and Logan will not doing anything to Seth with all the masked men, right? But one of the let's say all of the masked men are in the ring, right? And slowly they all start to disappear. Seth's still in the ring, but behind him, one masked man he's still in the ring. He takes off his mask and it's Braun Breaker. And he spears Seth, and that's the way they get the Mania match. I think I've booked the company the perfect way to get the Braun v Seth match. I mean, if they do that.
Imagine Bronson Reed's in a mask.
He's out. Yeah, he actually got surgery, so he won't be back until SummerSlam probably.
If I'm being honest, yeah, I don't know why they've brought Seth back because it's pretty pointless.
Yeah, same.
I think Braun and Seth should have been saved for after Mania. Let them heal, man. Especially Braun, because that's the future company right there. You don't want to rush him back. Hernia can be a pretty serious thing, and this is definitely rushing him back if they are going to do Seth Braun. But you know what? I just had a horrible thought has just come into my head. Right? Imagine Braun does come back. I like the idea of him being one of the masked men and attacking Seth. That's a cool idea, but. Let's say we get the match at Mania. I have a horrible feeling that Braun will win, yeah, because Paul Heyman makes his return and that costs Seth or something stupid like that.
It
I
will be,
have a
that's the
bad
thing.
feeling
Seth
that's
is not
gonna
going to
happen.
lose clean, I think.
Bro, Heyman's going to come out from under the ring and come in and low blow
How's he
Seth.
fitting under the ring?
He ain't going on the ring, man.
God,
He went to
man.
breathe
Too
under
big for
there.
that.
Paul
Imagine
Heyman,
Heyman
Paul
made
Heyman
breathe,
taking
man.
off the mask, bro. That fat thing taking the mask off will be the funniest visual ever.
Oh, he might be the other masked man, the big one.
but it'd be interesting to see if Paul Heyman is back by Mania, though, because obviously,
This one, yeah. This one.
Yeah, that's Paul.
That's Paul
That's
Heyman.
Paul. We figured it out.
I mean, Brock Lesnar. So, do you think Brock Lesnar is going to do this feud, whoever he faces at Mania, without Paul Heyman? Then,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Paul. Brock's fine without Paul.
He's written himself off at Mania, and basically Brock's there for every episode until Mania now. So he's there for over a month. I have no idea what Brock does for over a month.
I like
because-
Brock without Paul. I think that running with the Roman Reigns feud a couple of years ago, I thought Brock was probably the best work he'd done in
yeah,
years.
Brock is funny. Brock is really funny.
when he was doing that cowboy gimmick,
Yeah, his cowboy
it's-
gimmick, it was really
But
fun.
I mean, I suggested that idea. I don't know yet, but seeing Brock Lesnar becoming the leader of the division would be absolutely hilarious. I reckon he'd be fucking hilarious in that role.
I don't think it'd work, man.
Just getting
know if
Theory
Brock
and
would
Logan
back
Paul
in.
to just do all these dirty work, right? And then you can have a few. Maybe Braun comes back and they get into a little something. But yeah, I don't know. Braun Seth, it is a big match, but I think Mania will be fine if it's not there. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, is there really a need to rush them both back if they're not ready? But then, having said that, Seth is definitely going to be at Mania. I don't know in what capacity. Who? Oh, mate, Seth. Imagine if there is actually Brock Seth. Like,
Hopefully it's not, man. I'm not interested in
I
that.
don't
We've
want
seen
that
that
match again.
6 years ago. And listen, 6 years ago that was a really fun match. Great way Seth won the title to open
The first one,
WrestleMania
yeah.
30, 35, I think it was.
Yeah,
the
35.
proper long one. Great match. I have no interest seeing Seth v. Brock in 2026.
Yeah.
Again, like Kobe said, the only matches Brock should be having is against Ober, Gunther, Braun, and Jacob.
Braun.
They're the only
Yeah.
four that interest me
Yeah.
in the slightest. I want no one near Brock. He should be.
I
giving
feel like
me-
we're so getting a Cody versus Brock match down the line. It's just-
again,
I feel like it's
fourth
gonna be-
match, and they had that match at SummerSlam. To close
Yeah,
the
I just
trilogy.
feel like it's gonna happen again. They're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna fight Brock Lesnar now," and he's gonna get a big win over Brock or something.
listen, I feel like this is something weird's going on at WWE. Maybe there could be the start of change. The tides are turning. I mean, Road Dogg's gone. Paul Heyman's off TV. And third thing I want to talk about, Pat McAfee has come out
Thank
and it looks like he's done with like his comments. I've said he doesn't really see himself returning anytime soon. Hallelujah, mate.
Get him.
Thank God,
I
bro.
think that means he's 100% becoming a surprise commentator at WrestleMania like he did a few years ago.
Oh my days.
I
I hope not, man.
won't be shocked,
Like,
man.
You're all getting kayfabed, and it's all a work.
he's not a good commentator. I don't think.
I
I
don't
mean,
think
he has the charisma, but that's about it. Like, he's not a good commentator.
he's all right in small bursts. When he's commentating every single week on Raw, it does your head in because
Exactly.
he's not good enough. I don't mind him if he's going to appear on a SummerSlam or a WrestleMania or whatever, and he does a couple of matches. That's fine, right? I don't even mind him having a wrestling match, even though he's not very good. I mean, actually, I didn't think his match with Gunther was bad, to be honest. But again, it's a guy like Gunther's going to give you a good match. But I just don't want to see Pat McAfee, nor do I have a need for him.
With
I
Pat
didn't even know who this guy was when he joined. I'll be real. I just thought it was some random guy. Adam Cole went on his podcast, and then he had his feud with Adam Cole in NXT.
That was actually a bad match, you know.
That was really good. But again,
Yeah.
Adam Cole is Adam Cole. He's going to give you a good match.
Do you know what I can see happening? There's been a weird thing going on online, right? Logan Paul, right? He's been beefing a lot of NFL guys.
Yeah, I seen that.
And Pat McAfee is a former NFL player. I can see them doing a dumb storyline or wrestling match at a PLE down the line, Logan Paul and Pat McAfee, or something stupid like that.
Shocked, man.
Imagine.
Happen. But yeah, I mean, one last thing then before we wrap up. I don't know if you guys seen, what is going on with the WrestleMania 42 like graphics? Like they keep changing it every day.
But the saturation's crazy, bro.
Oh, the ones they showed, the ones they showed on Raw just before the main event segment with Punk and Roman. Holy crap, them graphics look worse than the first graphics. I don't
Yeah.
get what they
It
do.
looked like they put Punk in a toaster.
Yeah,
It looks.
I'm
It looks
not a
like
big fan of the logo as well, by the way.
it looks.
doesn't
It
feel like
looks like
WrestleMania.
them fake. It looks like them fake match graphics that people would
Yeah.
make on Facebook or like
Looks
you know.
AI
do you remember-
generated.
Yeah, do you remember the back in the day on YouTube when they'd have like fantasy dream predicted
Yeah.
the cards for?
oh yeah.
Rey Mysterio versus Great Khali, Big Show, and Mark Henry.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I think there's been backstage discussions as well about it. Like they're unhappy with it. They keep changing it.
Yeah.
The Cody Randy one. Was that official WWE one or was that a fan?
Yeah.
You know, that fallout?
That's the official one. Looks really nice.
That looks way better.
That
should have
yeah,
been.
but that looks. It just doesn't look right. It looks like someone's made it, like one of them editors on Instagram.
Yeah.
They've made it like
I
a
mean,
12-year-old kid's made it on his fucking laptop or something.
I think the apocalyptic
Bro.
Vegas 100% better than whatever they've had. I mean, the current one logo is like it looks like a roller coaster or something.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, AI. I wouldn't be surprised if it's AI generated to be, but it is what.
Rock.
I mean, they are 100% right, regretting making it in at Vegas 2 years in a row.
Well, it's stupid, isn't it?
I mean, who's surprised? Obviously, they were gonna regret it. Like the first year wasn't great. What made you think the second year was gonna be so good? You should have just kept your New Orleans, but I think Vegas came back to. I think Vegas went. Or W was like, okay, listen, we'll pay you this much to run again at Vegas. We want to rectify what happened the first time, and they're doing it again. I mean, they charged more money, and the product ain't really that much better than this time last year. What were they expecting? I don't know.
There's no
Bro, the set design from last year was actually the worst thing. They had people like on the stage, and then they barely had any power.
yeah.
It was so
You could pay
bad,
money to
man.
go on the stage.
Listen,
It
this
was
actually
so
looks nice.
bad.
I think this
Yeah,
guy from the
that
audience.
doesn't look
This
bad.
looks
But
nice.
stick to a theme, like if you're
Yeah.
gonna do it like that, or stick with one. You can't change it for every single poster. That's not how marketing works. It doesn't keep it consistent, and you don't know what's real and what's fake because half the posters don't look like they're supposed to be WrestleMania posters for the biggest show they're supposed to have ever, the biggest WrestleMania ever. And
I mean, pretty much
stick to a marketing campaign.
Listen, AJ Styles was 100% right. Mania has lost its appeal.
Oh
I
yeah,
think we could all agree with that. 100% Mania has lost
two
its
nights is not helping, by the way.
appeal. Listen, I've always preferred one night. I think it adds to the magic of WrestleMania. But with the roster they have these days, they can't really afford to do one night Mania with bloody 12 or 30 matches on the night.
Yeah,
It just won't
that's
help.
fair.
I mean, we say that, but 2 nights apart from last year, it's been pretty successful. Like I think apart from 36, I don't really count that. That was COVID, right? 37, the 2 nights formula worked. 38, it worked. Austin, came out.
But I feel like 2 nights is just like it kills the magic of it because
It is,
night one main event now. Like CM Punk said back in AEW, main event night 2 buy one get one free extravaganza.
And now
I'm not a fan of it.
He's a part of it. Now he's a part of it.
I don't know. Maybe I'm a very just nostalgia merchant.
No,
I like to stick to it's kind of games gone in, isn't it? Like 2 nights of WrestleMania, 2 main events. Back in my day, we only had one night.
They struggle with balancing them properly both nights, making them equally stacked, which is a downfall. I think if they want to keep the 2 nights thing going, because we all know they are, because it makes them lots of money. It gives them chances to do loads of ads between matches, blah blah segments. I personally, if you're going to do if you're doing 2 nights of Mania, right? They're still not getting everyone on the card even with 2 nights. So I don't understand. I thought the whole reason was it's to get more people on the card. Like they've gotten rid of so many matches, right? That can, for example, I know it's just a battle royal, but the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal 100% should be on one of the nights. It's a good way to get the lower mid card guys a chance.
Exactly, or at least do a pre-show.
Yeah, But listen, I say bring back the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on one of the nights. The winner of that gets a shot at the US or IC title. Add a bit of stakes to it. The money, I know Money in the Bank. This one's a difficult one because Money in the Bank as a PLE, it does work.
I like it. I like his appeal.
I like his PLE.
But
I'll be real.
something about it tells me it would be so good to see either the men's or the women's on a night 1 or night 2 of Mania, and then one of the men's or women's on SummerSlam. Do you know what I mean? Because they're doing 2 nights for every big PLE now. I feel like you can slowly start to get rid of these gimmick PLEs, but I don't know, man. 2 nights. I feel like if it's good, people won't care. So 39 people loved it because it was good. 40 people loved it because it was good. 41 people didn't like it, so it wasn't good. And 42 is kind of shaping up the same way. I mean, the main events should deliver. The main events have to deliver ultimately, but
I think in every WrestleMania since 37, the main events have delivered. Actually, probably 2 haven't, right? And it was the Cody v Cena last year and the Roman v Brock in 38. I think they were the only 2 that, since they went to 2 nights, haven't really delivered. And there's a common theme where night 1 has cleared night 2 in pretty much every WrestleMania since it started. I'm trying to think. 40 maybe because he had the Roman v Cody match at night 2, but night 1 last year, Roman Punk 10th. At 40, they had the tag match, still really good. 39, the Usos v KO Sami. Again, I thought was better than the Roman v Cody match that year. KO against Austin was better than Roman v Brock that year. And the year before that, you could argue, I think Sasha v Bianca was a really, really good match. But again, you had that triple threat with the Roman, Edge, and Bryan, which was phenomenal too. So I think there's a common theme where night 1 normally eclipses night 2. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the case this year. I think Grandy v Cody has the potential to be a really, really good match. It just depends what way they go with the match. And Copy said earlier that the reason they went to 2 nights was to get more wrestlers on the card to give them that WrestleMania payday. I think it was just about generating more money. You double your revenue if you do it.
It can be a bit both. Well, it should be. I get, okay, yeah, you can make as much money, 100%. I get it from a business side, but the other argument, get as many guys on the card as well. Like 100%, that should be a thing as well. But
yeah, but it's also double the ticket sales, double the pay-per-view buys, and double the viewers, and
TKO will be TKO. But listen, before we end it, it's been quite a while now. A bit of early predictions then for both nights. I reckon either one match is definitely getting a heel turn. I think Cody Randy's probably the safest bet. But can you see them doing something? Like obviously last year's Mania, they had Paul Heyman turning on Roman and Punk and joining Seth, right? That was a big moment. And then night 2, to us it wasn't a big moment. To us it wasn't a big moment, but I'm sure someone in creative, this is going to be huge. People are going to love this. Travis Scott obviously came out, helped Cena win 17. Do you think we get something similar this year? We're going to get 2 big.
But what's the big moment? Like maybe a Randy heel turn.
In night 2, Jey Uso turning heel on Roman Reigns.
The only thing I could think of, because you know how Punk kept saying to Roman, "Oh, you've got no one, yeah, you're by yourself now. How are you going to react?" I had a feeling around that time, right, that they may be okay. The Usos don't get involved in the build up, and at Mania, towards the end of the match, we see The Rock comes out, and then Roman's like, "See, I told you I've got someone," and then The Rock turns on
Roman Reigns,
and then The Rock turns on Roman, and then Punk wins. But obviously, I don't think we see that, sadly. But
the way they've gone with what they're doing with this story right now is they've gone down the family path, right? Like I thought they were going to just make it about Roman and Punk and the podcast and Shield, whatever. But they've completely got down the different path, which I really like. Again, the family path, right? And obviously, The Rock is family in kayfabe to Roman Reigns. So Lenny's pitch there, I don't see it happening because I think Rock's doing his own thing. Yeah, he's not going to come back to wrestling. Maybe he'll come on next year for that Saudi payday, but he won't be here this year. But the idea of Roman being like, yes, I've got listen, this is my family. I've got Roman, I've got Rock to help me, and in Rock's basically in the ring with Roman Reigns, and he rock bottoms in, and Punk takes advantage. Again, would that make Punk a heel then, or would it just be him taking advantage? That's kind of a tough land where you have to look at too. But I mean, that's a really good pitch, and especially because they've gone down the family route now. Obviously, that's not gonna. Teeth very on that. Obviously, that's not the path they're gonna go down now. But
not
again,
listen, The Rock, he's filming Jumanji 3 at the moment, so I don't know if
They're
he's
making a third one. What the hell?
yeah, but
Why?
listen, in an ideal world, The Rock, it makes all the sense for The Rock to come because, especially with the family thing being such a thing. I mean, it would be cinema. Imagine The Rock comes out, with his fucking belt with Punk's name on it, like, you don't talk about my family.
The
And
people
then
champion.
all of a
Though.
sudden, he just turns around and he smacks Roman with the belt. It would be like a holy shit moment. And I get Danny's point. Will that make Punk heel? I don't think people will care though if that happens. I
I
think
think a
people.
heel Punk run would be very good as well. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
that would be
Punk's
insane.
got that in him, and obviously we've not seen him as a heel for a long, long time.
I think they would be so shocked by the spectacle of The Rock like costing Roman that and setting up match. It's a iconic moment to end Mania, isn't it? And in regards to the other match, Cody Randy, I mean, I've said I don't mind if Randy wins it by turning heel or Cody wins it and then Randy turns heel afterwards. 100 both scenarios I am fine with, but the worst case scenario can be if Cody just wins and they just hug and like, yeah, we're bros for life or something, which 100% don't see. But one thing I've seen people say like, oh, if Randy punts Cody to win it, but I don't think that is that really a heel turn though, because if anything, he's doing
think Randy should turn heel in the build-up, to be honest, because you don't want to build a face versus face in your main event of WrestleMania.
Nah, you know what?
I'm not a big fan of it.
Agree. I think because Cody and Randy, it's not going to end at Mania, is it? It's going to carry.
Of course.
So I feel like in this case, it's okay to do it as, I think they should do it like it starts up as friendly, blah, blah, blah. And then you have like shots. I mean, they have been doing Randy staring at Cody's title, blah, blah. So it has to be like a slow burn. And I really like Lenny mentioned it as well. During the match, Randy has chances to punt Cody, but he's fighting his demons. He's fighting the voice saying, nah, not this way, not in that way, not in that way. And then they could have something like, I don't know, Cody taking advantage, and pinning Randy via like a roll up or something, not heelish, but in a way that like he'd do anything to win, and that could send Randy over the edge. Like what the hell, man? I could have punted you and won this easily, but I decided not to because we're friends. I want to win it the legit way. Blah blah. It could be like a good like.
If you guys remember their match Night of Champions, and I watched that I think 3 weeks ago. Cody Randy and Night of Champions. Randy was loading the punt up. He was ready to punt him, right? But obviously he kind of hesitated, and obviously that was great storytelling. Cody took advantage and won. I really hope they don't just hush that finish again. It would be incredibly stupid. I think I get Kobe's point. Will he really turn heel if he's just using his finisher to win? But again, that's a finisher he has used in a really long time. And when he was going to punt Kevin Owens at WrestleMania, that was going to turn him heel, right? Because Kevin Owens was already the heel, and he was going to bring that side out of him. That's actually is a really interesting point. Does he actually turn heel, or is he just using his finisher to win? It mainly depends on how they build him to WrestleMania, the way they get to Mania, and if he's showing more of a heelish tactics, or if he just does, turn heel at Mania and maybe. I mean, I think the way to establish the heel turn is you have him low blow Cody Rhodes first and then punt him. I think
hit him
that
with an
works
RKO and then punt him.
Behind the ref's back, low blow RKO punch, and that's the way you officially turn him heel. And but I just a punt is basically his finisher, so I don't think that really turns him heel. But again, a low blow and then RKO, and then straight into punting him and turn him heel. Just talking about Kevin Owens, there was a report that came out on Friday that he is looking. They are going to reevaluate him, and he's looking to get back in the ring sometime this year. Thank God. I've missed Kevin Owens for the last year. I mean, Kevin Owens has been one of the guys on the Triple H era where Triple H can basically put him anywhere in the card and he's going to do a great job for you, right? And he's doing a lot. He had that tag run with Sammy. He's been in the main event scene. He's done a lot of stuff with Roman Reigns, Seth. He's just been that guy for Triple H where he can rely on, right? And it's not a coincidence that since Kevin Owens has gone away, Triple H's product has kind of died, right? Because Kevin Owens was a big part of all of Triple H's plans. I mean, he was always in the main event scene of either show. He was in the tag division. I think if you have to say who are the most important pieces of the Triple H era, I'd say Kevin Owens is top 3. I'd say quite easily Kevin Owens is top 3 of what the Triple H era has been so far. So listen, I cannot wait until Kevin Owens is back. Again, I think I said it in the group chat last week. I do heel Randy against babyface Kevin Owens. I think that's
That
a
would be
great
quality.
story. You can
That would
tell.
be quality.
That's the way you bring back him. You have him
That'd be so
interrupt Randy Orton or something, and you run that feud. Maybe at SummerSlam,
Yeah, night after
maybe
Mania.
Kevin Owens actually wins the belt. He hasn't won the title since 2016. That sounds so flipping mental. 10 years.
mad, isn't it?
10 years. Because he won the belt when Triple H turned on Seth. I think it was in
Yeah.
August of 2016. So if he wins the
That's
belt again
insane.
in August 2026 at SummerSlam, a great story. A phenomenal story.
I agree.
Listen, I'm calling it right now. Saudi Mania, we're getting heel Sami Zayn versus babyface Kevin Owens for one of the titles in the main event of one of the night.
I mean,
why-
we already spoke about
So good,
Sami
bro.
Zayn, but his character over the last few weeks has been really intriguing, right? Because he's just been apologizing to everyone, and Randy Orton said to him on SmackDown, "Find the voices in your head." So is
Yeah.
that basically saying to him, "Are you gonna turn heel or something, or are they gonna, like Hoppy said?" I mean, the way they were going about on SmackDown, I thought they were gonna actually have Sami Zayn cost Cody Rhodes the title. I had a kind of a doubt that okay, Cody and Sami, Cody basically said to Sami, "You can't get the job done all the time. Like, stop blaming others, blame yourself." And like, okay, are they gonna actually have Sami Zayn kind of turn heel, right? I still think the plan for Mania is Sami the Trick. I think you can bring. I think if there's a guy that can bring that side out of Sami, it is Trick Williams. He's a great rage baiter. So you build that match to Trick Williams and Sami Zayn at Mania. And listen, I would demand a Kevin Owens v Sami Zayn match at WrestleMania next year for the title.
Yeah, I think
I'd be
that's
happy with that,
if
man.
right now. That's what I'm booking towards. Heel Sammy versus face Owens. Right, you
Yeah.
have heel over the course of this next year. This storyline of Sammy can't get it done, and it drives him mad that he turns heel to win the big one, and then you have Kevin Owens returning as a babyface. Trying to speak sense into Sammy or something like that. Or even if he's not back this year, maybe the Rumble, save him for the Rumble, have him win the Rumble next year, and yeah, the storylines are right there. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn for one of the titles at Mania. I'd love that, to be honest. But yeah, man, I think that's all. Any final thoughts, lads?
No, I think we've covered pretty much everything.
Pretty much
Yeah,
it,
I think things are finally picking up on the road to WrestleMania. We are getting clear plans for basically every wrestler. But yeah, I mean, hopefully the product isn't as bad as it was last year.
Yeah, just want improvements and
But
an
yeah, man.
actual good
I mean,
WrestleMania
Oh
this
yeah,
year.
before we wrap up, Omer, Revolution this weekend, will you be watching?
Yeah, of course I will be. I'll be tuning in on Saturday. I think Hangman's gonna win the belt again because there's no way they're
Really?
gonna have him. I just don't see MJF, and I mean Hangman never challenging for the AEW title again unless he turns heel and goes crazy or something.
That's what I think might happen. He might just turn heel.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't think Hangman should turn heel right now. I don't think there's many like
anyway,
insinuations.
that's enough. That's enough AEW talk. Yeah,
to
man,
be
I
slick.
want to give a huge thank you to anyone that's been watching from the start till now, even those who have popped in and out, asking questions, blah blah, interacting with us. We appreciate it.
Shout out, shout.
We're on the road. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. So if you're new to the channel, you enjoy our content, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Head over to our playlist. All our content is there basically. But yeah, man, it's been a good one. Kayfabe Out is your weekly WWE show. So we'll see you for the next one.